Hi everyone, my name is Elijah. You can call me Lay. This is just a continuation of a video. Therefore, if you want to watch part 1 before this one, click the description box below.
So, now on to the more personal questions. What made you start a blog?
Ooh, okay. Well, it was for many reasons. So there were two. So basically, I used to have a blog with an old friend of mine, and because we kind of lost touch, so I kind of stopped blogging with her, and I kind of missed it because that's how I started like blogging and stuff in the first place, is because of her. And now we're like kind of like talking again more, so that feels nice, but we don't have the blog together anymore, and it was like too hard for me to continue the blog by myself, so I just wanted something that was completely all me. And on top of that, I was like going through a really bad time in my life because there was like this abusive, like not like physically abusive,
Mentally abusive.
Mentally abusive, gaslighting type person, very manipulative. That's a great story time, but I'm saving that for another time. So, if you want to hear that story, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, because if you want the tea, you have to stick around.
Exactly. And my story is so similar to hers. It's crazy how there's many people like this personality,
Yeah.
It's crazy.
But basically, I had a really hard time because of this person, and it was a person that I really couldn't avoid, because whoever made my high school schedule really loved to see me in pain, I guess. I mean, every single class with that person, so it was really impossible to avoid. And on top of that, they're like, last time when we were friends, they lived literally like, I would say 3 blocks away from me, so had to take the same bus home and to school. Basically, not a fun time for me.
Wow, I'm sorry. That's a lot.
Yeah, so couldn't avoid this person at all. Literally, there was no place to avoid them.
Wow.
And so I felt like I needed my own space, because they were kind of doing the most to kind of like mute out my voice and trash talk me and ruin my reputation when they acted a certain way. So they weren't really like telling the whole truth about anything that happened with us.
They were playing the victim.
Yes, and because of that, I felt always like anxious and stuff in school, but I really wanted to get my story out, and I just didn't feel like telling it in my journal was actually helping me, because I feel like with my story, I feel like it can help a lot of people and help people realize the signs of people that may be using them or gaslighting them or being manipulative and treating them how they really don't deserve, because no one deserves to be treated less than human.
Exactly. It's important.
So I felt like maybe I can use my own life, and hopefully people won't feel as alone as I did. And on top of that, I felt like I had a lot of other issues to unpack from middle school, because I have boy issues. Anyways, I have a lot of boy issues, so we love that for me. I had like a lot of issues that I just had on me, because the worst part about that person is they knew like everything that happened to me, and they did the exact same thing 10 times worse.
Yeah. That, you know what? That is so horrible when someone knows that you've been treated disrespectfully before, and then they just take it and make it worse, and they just ruin your life for a bit. Like, I don't know why people do that.
And it's funny because I was talking to that old friend that I mentioned before that I had a blog with, and we were kind of putting two and two together. And it was kind of interesting how they would act towards them, but they would only do it if I'm around, like as if they were trying to upset me and trying to make me jealous. But I don't get how you can do that to someone if you don't really like them. But
I know that's
go off with your personality.
Yeah, so number 12. When you first started blogging, did you ever feel that someone would read a post and get offended?
Well, yes. That's why I try to be very careful with my dialect, because I did do some controversial blogs, like I would say thoughts about things like going on that I felt like it was personally wrong. So like at the time, it was like how certain people were being treated. Like it didn't even have to do really with me. Also, you know, with all types of things happening in the world, and some of them, they really just shouldn't be happening.
Yeah.
So of course I have my own opinions on that, but for me, it's always hard for me to like say my opinions, and it's not hard for me to stick by them, but it's hard for me to feel comfortable being vocal about things. And yeah, so I try to like be very careful with my dialect. I try not to just like, you know how like if someone like opposes your opinion, like you know how some people would just go off and say like this person's like this and that, like this type of person is this and that because of this is that. Like I may not agree with certain morals, but I also have like I keep in my mind that everyone, honestly, people are like they just do what's best for them, especially where we are. That's literally the thing. That's how your political views happen. That's how your beliefs happen. You choose what benefits you. You choose what fills your heart. And honestly, it's so different for everyone because we all come from such different lives. Even if you're siblings with someone, their experience, their lives can be so different from you. The only thing you would share is like your home life, but you don't know what they go through at school. You don't know what they go through with their friends. Like you don't know what they go through besides being in the house, you know? So we all live such different lives, and that just determines what we believe in and don't believe in. So
Okay, the next question is, are you into astrology or like zodiac signs? And if so, like how invested in it are you?
I would say like I find them interesting, but I don't like believe in them religiously. Like some people do.
Yeah.
I find it more like I find like traits like I can pull out and I'm like, oh, that's kind of like me. But then the thing about astrology, like I'm into in the sense like I know that there's more than just like your sun sign. Like there's all these different things that determine like your life besides like a chart. Like there's like how you grew up, where you grew up, because like for example, living in an urban environment makes you different than if you lived in a rural environment.
Exactly.
Like those little things like I take into mind, like I take it with a grain of salt basically, but I find it like kind of interesting, and I like to like believe certain things because it makes me want to like keep going and push further. So
I agree because honestly, astrology is a pseudoscience. It's not real. So I understand that there are people who, you know, they're like totally invested in this, but like it's honestly a bunch of stereotypes. Zodiac signs are stereotypes.
Okay, they're very much like a lot of generalizations, and I don't really prefer them. Like I'm not gonna automatically think someone is a bad person because they're this and that. I mean,
exactly.
But if I notice certain traits about them and they happen to fit, I mean, I'm not gonna believe it for every single person, but I just take things with a grain of salt.
Yeah. I'm the same way. So number 14, this is a fun question. What are your favorite snacks? Even though I know the answer to this because you told me.
This.
Oh my gosh.
But I don't have pepperoni. So it is these like pita bread chips. And right now I've been really loving Gouda cheese. Like I love cheese. So that's like, if I had to choose between giving up meat and giving up cheese, I would probably choose meat. Like I love cheese. Like
wow.
Everything I like is cheese. So
take a bite of cheese.
love cheese.
All right. Number 15, where do you see yourself in life, like career-wise, in 10 years?
Okay, so you said, where do I see myself in 10 years, right?
Yeah, career-wise.
10 years from now, I am, how old am I? 18? I don't know my age sometimes, because you know, like, how it feels like you're kind of like in a weird place, especially like when you hit like 17, 18, 19, it's like, you're not an adult, but you're really like different from being like a teenager. You're just like in this weird limbo where it's like you're doing adulting things, but you're just trying to like figure stuff out. So
yeah,
10 years from now, I'm 28, right? So if I work the way I want to work, which is I want to do AMC for these 4 years, so I would graduate. What age would I graduate? I think I would graduate
20.
I have a late birthday though. So
you'd be 21 then.
Yeah, I'll be 21 turning 22. So there's that, and then it depends if I get an internship during like some time during college, and that would hopefully be able to turn into a job.
Yeah.
So then it depends on like all those factors. So if I do get a job, for example, say it is with being a content marketer or something, I would like say I would see myself hopefully owning my brand before 30. I would hope to do that.
Yeah. I think you have the potential for sure. I could see you having your own brand by then, definitely. All right. Number 16, what qualities do you look for in friends and what qualities don't you look for?
With friends, I feel like they have to be honest, because I'd rather have an honest friend and someone that tells me the truth and tells me like, criticizes me, but does so in a way that it's like, not like damaging, but like, this is how you can improve, you know?
So like constructive criticism.
Yeah, because I feel like some friends are mean for just the, well, friends are mean just for the sake of being mean. I also feel like some friends don't always like support your vision, and they see it as like differently because every friend I feel like is different. Like I feel like I have friends who like more practical careers, and out of all my friends, I feel like I'm the least practical. I can't see myself like being a doctor or a nurse. Like I give them credit for wanting to do those things. 100%. But for me personally, I cannot be a doctor. I don't like blood. And if someone's sick, I'm a huge germaphobe, and I'm kind of just like this.
Yeah, no,
I get very anxious. Anxious to be a doctor. And of course I like to help people, but I want to help people in my own way. That's less practical, probably less noticeable, because honestly, people help people in different ways, but they don't get as recognized for it. Like authors, they put so much ideas and thoughts in the world that people, if they didn't read that, they wouldn't think about it that way.
That's true.
So I feel like authors are just as important in its own way. Like, it depends on what you do. But Yeah, so I feel like support is a huge thing in a friendship. Loyalty, compassion. Also, I feel like, I'm trying to think, because I feel like I do have a good group of friends, but it's kind of hard to just name like qualities of a good friend, because I feel like we have different friends for different things. Like, you have friends that you're emotional with,
Yeah.
and you have friends that you party with, and you have friends that understand your visions and your dreams because they're just as ambitious as you are.
Yeah.
So that's kind of a hard question, but I know for what I don't look for in a friend is anyone who's manipulative and like they'll say things to like guilt trip you, like if you're trying to like do your own thing, and
That's the worst.
they make you feel guilty about trying to go further in life, or trying to, and literally just people who hold you back.
I agree 1,000,000%. I agree. So for number 17, can you describe your high school experience in one sentence? If you had to really think about it.
A walking nightmare.
Walking nightmare. Do you want to elaborate, or?
Oh, I thought it was supposed to be one sentence, but basically,
you can elaborate if you want.
okay. So basically, it was a small school, so you knew everyone since 6th grade. Because it wasn't just my high school, it was my middle school and high school. So I knew the same people for 8 years. So like any mistakes that you made as a middle schooler and any actions that you did were probably like not as smart or like awkward or anything like that, they kind of like held it against you.
Yeah.
And they kind of tried to make drama out of nothing. Like, for example, if I liked someone and people would literally start hating on me because they're a different race. So
yeah,
little things that shouldn't matter to people, like they make your business their business, even if you're not even friends.
Okay. All right, that makes sense. Got it. Who do you look up to the most?
Like any person?
Anyone?
I would have to say my mom, because she is very independent, and my dad died when I was a baby, so she's been raising me and my brother all by herself and always doing the best she can and always putting us first. And she's just a really caring and compassionate person who teaches me like how to be like independent, so you don't need to rely on anyone, and have my head on strong. Also, I also feel like she was not one of those parents that like kind of like push you into areas you don't really want to be in. Like, she never told me like, hey, you gotta become a doctor, you have to become a lawyer. You don't, like, she lets me be me.
That's really good. I love that.
Definitely my mom, because she's a really strong person all on her own, does the most for her kids, and has like the kindest heart, and honestly inspires me to want to be a better person and be there for people the way she is for other people, even if they don't always deserve it.
Yeah, that's so sweet. Number 19, what are your top 5 biggest pet peeves?
Racist, homophobic.
The list goes on.
Anyone who discriminates is basically on this list, and that's how the list basically goes.
Yeah, all right, so it's just an extensive list of negative.
I'm for the people. Like, I feel like anyone who stereotypes anyone, uncomfortable. You make me uncomfortable. I'm scared.
Oh my god. All right, so the final question is, do you have any regrets? And this is in general, like throughout your life. Is there anything you regret?
I feel like my biggest regret is letting the things like happen to me like I feel like it forced me to become like a person that now I look at myself and I'm like who I was, because I feel like when I was in elementary school I was very like creative and passionate, and like I'm still like those things in my own way, but because of like the mental destructiveness and stuff like that and things I had to go through to a point where I needed therapy, and I was actually really traumatized because of my middle school and high school. I feel like I let those things like silence who I was as a person and break me down as a human, and I just felt like for the longest time I didn't know how to be myself. And even now sometimes, because of how much people I still have on like, for example, Snapchat, I'm scared to like put out things and like post like, oh, I have a YouTube channel now, or I have a blog now, because I feel like internally they're still judging me.
Yeah, I get that. So wait, is that it? Any regrets or?
I also regret letting a dumb guy come between me and someone I did care about. What else do I regret? I feel like there are a lot of things I do regret. Like, I regret my hairstyles back in middle school. I regret not wearing, doing my eyebrows sooner. But those are like the deeper things I feel like I regret. And I feel like I've done like things that weren't like as nice, but I feel like every day we like learn to be better people.
That's true. I agree.
Because I just feel like maybe like I did things that weren't that nice because of jealousy or because of any of my own insecurities. So because of that, I definitely just feel like I did learn from those things though, because I feel like that's all as people we can do. And I just feel like if you're not learning from the things you did or don't see anything wrong with things you did, that's where you're messing up.
Yeah.
So yeah. So that is all the questions, 20 questions on this channel, where I'm a mess of a human. Hi, and this is Vanessa, who is a sweet proper human, and who cares so much about people, and honestly subscribe to her, because honestly she makes videos that really will help you guys out. Like, she has like this good brownie recipe. I mean, I know y'all want to eat some brownies. I like make your life better. Have some chocolate. You need a little, you know, chocolate's actually good for you, especially dark chocolate.
Have a little chocolate every day.
Yeah, just a little piece. Like, it's fine. Treat yourself. Don't feel guilty into society standards. Be you. That's the message of the day. Be yourself. Don't be like me. Don't hide yourself. You're great. So yeah, that's all for this video today, and we are hoping to do more collabs in the future, and hopefully with Nina, if you're watching this, hi. Like, hi, Nina.
Come on, where's your channel? What's up? Like, hurry up.
Yes, it's your turn now. I started, she started, you're next.
Yes.
Okay, so see you next. Well, when am I putting this up? Am I putting this up? I think I'm putting this up Tuesday, so I guess see you on Friday, where you'll hopefully see some of the behind the scenes. Probably mostly with her channel, because I think my camera died, so that's great. Sorry, I'm not good at this. But see you on Friday.
Bye, guys.
Love you. Peace. Just like I'm bye.